So are you a part of a grapevine, or are you a thorn bush? That's my question. So turn with me to Ezekiel chapter 3. It's in the Old Testament. So we're just gonna hang out in the Old Testament this morning, and part 2 will be in 2 weeks. It will not be for Father's Day. So Ezekiel, yesterday I usually read through the Bible in 1 year. I'm in Ezekiel, and I just found this so fascinating. Ezekiel chapter 2, verse, I'll start in verse 6. This was just in my devotions yesterday, and this was not going to be in my sermon. That's why I don't have a slide for it. So Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 6, God calls Ezekiel into ministry to preach, and then he says, "And you, son of man, do not be afraid of them or their words. Do not be afraid. Though briars and thorns are all around you, and you live among scorpions, do not be afraid of what they say or be terrified by them, though they are a rebellious people." So that's just another one of the 56 times that God calls the ungodly thorns and briars. So let me give you some more verses. Numbers 33:55. "But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land, those you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will give you trouble in the land where you will live." So God is calling the ungodly people that if Israel let them live in the land, they would be thorns and barbs. And some believe that the Apostle Paul, when he says, "There was given to me a thorn in my side, a messenger of Satan," that he wasn't necessarily talking about a health problem. It could be, but that he was talking about an individual that was a thorn in his side. This is Ezekiel 28:24. No longer, it's prophetic about the millennium in the future, no longer will the people of Israel have malicious neighbors who are painful briars and sharp thorns. Then they will know that I am the sovereign Lord. Here's a verse in 2 Samuel that just literally from God just tells us what he means by thorns. 2 Samuel 23:6-7. "But godless people are like thorns that are thrown away. No one can touch them barehanded. You must use an iron tool or a spear. They'll be burned completely." So the question 56 times through most of the books in the Bible, the lost, the wicked are called thorns. Symbolic of people that are like, I don't know, they minister evil. They like hurting other people. And in fact, thorn people will hurt God, they'll hurt others, and they will hurt themselves. I got this book. It's on human nature. It's a secular book. And my wife and I, we've cheated and looked a little bit, and we're like, wow, this is a very interesting book. So, secular book, this guy studied human nature, and he has come to the conclusion, he says, you don't realize how bad people are. He says they're malicious, they're conniving, they're full of envy, jealousy, anger, bitterness, devious. I'm like, and then there's a section about why are people thorns? He doesn't call them thorns, but why are people so bad? And he says at first the psychologists are like, well, obviously they were raised in a bad neighborhood, or they were raised by bad parents, and that's why they're bad kids. But then upon further study, they have discovered that, wait a second, there are kids that grow up in bad neighborhoods, have bad parents, everything is horrible, and yet they become good people. And there are communities like Cranberry and Mars that kids grow up and they have excellent parents and they become horrible individuals. So the psychologists, get this, they go, it looks like people make their own decision whether they're going to be bad or good. I'm like, read the Bible. So it's fascinating because they're trying to figure out, is there some kind of, something that happens that makes a person so devious? And I'm like, yeah, it's called the sinful nature.